Hey, welcome to 21 Days of Prayer and Fasting. We hope that this fasting journey is going well for you so far today with Pastor John Michael.
Yeah, good morning.
Children's pastor. And you know, it's the new year.
It is.
And every new year, we do something as a culture, and it's called New
resolutions.
Year's Resolutions.
Resolutions, man.
And I'm not trying to steal your thunder, but I think we're somewhere in that vein today.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, so I'm going to talk a little bit about New Year's resolutions. I'll tie it all in spiritually, though, so I'm not just going to go off on too bit of a rabbit trail.
He's not talking about your unhealthy Chick-fil-A addiction
Yeah.
you know.
Well, I mean, so right now, my wife and I, we do like prayers for the new year. So it's like, hey, what are we praying for in 2025? But for a long time, I would get into that fad of having a New Year's resolution that I would always fail. I guarantee there's people watching right now who have had a resolution or like, I'm going to do this in the coming year, and it's failed, because I think like 99% of them fail. But I did a little bit of research, and I wanted to find out like the top resolutions that people make. It is, I want to exercise more, and I want to eat better. So the top two resolutions, I think it's like over half of the US, when they make resolutions, it falls into those two categories. Like, I want to work out, I want to run more, or I want to eat better.
You may have already failed. You're listening to this, watching this. You may have already failed.
So, I mean, hey, if you did, like, just start again, okay? It's all right. Fall off the bike, you just get right back up. And so I thought that was interesting, because I actually did those when this was pre-marriage, pre-kids. I was out of college. I wanted to kind of get back in the shape. I'd played soccer, and I'd and throughout college, and kind of just rested. I was like, I don't want to exercise anymore. So I wanted to get back into it. And so I was like determined. In December, I came up with a plan. I had a workout plan. I had supplements. Like, I thought I was good to go. And so I gave a phone call to my brother. His name is Brian. He actually has a bachelor's in sports science. So I wanted like his stamp of approval on my plan. And I had sent it to him. He looked at it and he was like, you don't need to do any of this. And I was like, what are you talking about? This is the perfect workout plan. I'm going to work out 6 days a week. I'm going to run this amount every week. I'm going to take these supplements. Like, I got it. Like, I'm going to get in shape. He's like, no, you don't need to do this. He's like, these are the 3 things you need to do to like succeed, like at working out, at health, whatever it may be, something in that vein. And so he said, number one, you got to be consistent. So he's like, are you going to work out 6 days a week, every week? Are you going to do these workouts each day that you have? I'm like, yes. And he's like, no, you're not. He's like, do something that you can be consistent at. And once you do that, then you can add things, then you can tweak it. But you need to do something you're going to be consistent with. The next one was rest. He's like, 6 days a week is a lot. Running on top of that is a lot. You need to find time to rest, because resting is when you grow. When you're in the gym, when you're running, you're tearing down your body. You need to rest in order to grow and come back better. So you need to be consistent. You need to rest or have calm in your life. And then the last one was watch what you consume. Because if you eat garbage, if you eat junk, the first 2 aren't going to matter. Doesn't matter how hard you work out.
Guilty.
If you eat like garbage, which, I mean, during the holidays, like the hardest time. It's like I eat terrible. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year, I'm going to get right. Like it's like we set ourselves up to fail a little bit. And so anyway, I want to take those 3 things, pause talking about our physical health, and focus on our spiritual health, because I think those 3 can be applied spiritually to make sure that we have a healthy spirit as we continue on in the new year. So the first one is be consistent. And so I know for me and my wife as a church, we're doing the 21 days of prayer and fasting. And so we want to kind of dive into our devotions more, spend more time on it, and also be more consistent with it. And so I would say whether you have been consistent with your devotional life since the time you became a Christian till now, or you're struggling with it, or you have a couple days or you miss a little bit, is to find a plan or set a rhythm that you can be consistent at. So if it's praying 10 minutes in the day and then reading a chapter in the Bible, if you can do that consistently, that's great. Grow from that. Don't say, I'm going to pray an hour every morning and read. Like, that's not feasible, especially if you're married, you have a job, you have children. Like, it's not going to happen. So set a plan that you can be consistent at, and then expand upon that.
Yeah, and I've heard it said too, like when you're trying to be consistent, if you miss a day, it's okay. Try not to miss 2 days in a row, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's good too. I mean, if you like, it takes a lot, like 23 days to form a habit. If on that path to creating a good spiritual habit, maybe you fall off one day at a time. Like, hey, just get back on the horse. Don't feel deflated, don't stop. Just say, hey, I'm going to get back on the next day. So the first one is consistency. And so really quick, Ephesians 6:18 says this: always pray in the Spirit, and on every occasion stay alert and be persistent in your prayers for all believers everywhere. So again, encouraging us to pray in the Spirit, pray on every occasion. We should always be praying. The Bible tells us to pray without ceasing, so we should all be communing with God. So again, being consistent, having that devotional life, yes, have that time set aside, but also be mindful, hey, as I go throughout my day, I need to make sure I'm communing with God. So again, consistency is number one. The next one I said was rest. I'll say calm, because I'm going to have 3 C's, so I want it to sound good.
Yeah.
So consistency, calm, or I put rest in his presence. And so again, and this kind of ties into the first one, is really making sure that we have that devotional time to rest in his presence, whether it's reading our Bible, praying, putting on a worship song. A lot of us are busy. We just got done with the holidays. We're going into the new year. There's a lot we want to accomplish.
Yeah.
Routines, life doesn't stop. And so if we forsake that rest, we're not ever going to grow. It's like we're going into the gym. It's like we're running every day. We're beating our body down and not giving it time to recover. And so we need those moments to allow our spirit to recover from whatever we may be walking through. There's going to be seasons of pressure. There's going to be seasons of struggle, of strain, and we need to make sure our spirit is strong to power through those. So again, consistency, have those moments of calm, rest in his presence. And then the last one is consume. Same thing with going into the gym, of resting. If we don't eat right, it's not going to matter. Those first 2 aren't going to matter as much. And I think the first 2 are going to struggle if we don't watch what we consume for our spirit as well. So again, being mindful of what we're allowing into our eyes, what we're listening to, of the relationships we have. We want to make sure that what we consume is beneficial to our spirit. Really quick, I want to read Romans 12, 1 through 2, and then I think I'll be done. It says, and so, dear brothers and sisters, I plead with you to give your bodies to God because of all he has done for you. Let them be a living and holy sacrifice, the kind he will find acceptable. This is truly the way to worship him. And so I want to make sure that my body, my mind, my spirit is a living sacrifice to God, something that he finds acceptable and pleasing in his eyes. And then verse 2 says, don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. Again, as believers, making sure that, yes, we may live in the world, we may be among the world, but we do not conform to the standards of this world. And so again, being consistent in our devotional life, be consistent coming to church, being consistent in serving, having those moments of calm. I choose mine at the beginning of the morning before anybody else in my house wakes up, because I have 2 young kids, and once they're awake, the calm is gone. So making sure you have those moments of calm in your life to reset, to strengthen your spirit for the day ahead. And the last one is watching what we consume, that yes, we may be living in the world, but we're not going to conform to the patterns of this world. We want to make sure that our bodies, our minds, our spirits are found favorable in our Father's eyes.
Yeah. Well, on this fasting journey, be consistent, find calm, and watch what you consume.
Yeah.
But not just during the fasting journey, make it a lifestyle where you focus on those 3 things. That was a great principle that copied from exercise routines, but I think applies very well to our daily life and devotional life and the Christian walk that we're on. So apply these to your life during this fast. Make it a habit every day, even afterwards, and watch how it transforms your life. Just like exercise and proper exercise disciplines transforms your body for the better, watch how it transforms your spiritual life for the better. And we hope to see you on the next devotional.